Guys, it's your girl Jackie O. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. So on this video, I'm going to be talking about some of my favorite beauty hacks. If you don't know what a beauty hack is or a life hack, it's basically just like a tip that makes life way easier for you. It's usually something simple. It's usually something like, why the hell didn't I think of that? Just think of it like as a cheat sheet, but for life. I have been compiling this list for a while. These are things that I actually do and techniques and tips that I've actually used that I hope I can just pass on to you guys and hopefully you find them helpful. So the first one, which is probably the most recent that I have used myself, is, this is so odd. Okay. When I get an eye infection, basically that's when you get like dirt or bacteria trapped in the eye. For some people it's less obvious than others, but I know that when I get an eye infection, from what I remember, my eye just goes. Now obviously, not trying to sound vain, but like the way that I look is everything. Like I need to be on point 24/7, especially I come on camera, I do these YouTube videos. So for something like an eye infection, that could put me out of commission, okay? And that's not a good look. I need to be making money, okay? I need to be doing my thing. So I was just like, oh my God, I need like an at-home remedy. And at the time I was getting ready to travel like 2 days later. So I did not have time to go find a doctor. I don't even have a doctor, a repeated doctor that I go to. And I'm like, I don't have time for that. Let me just look up a quick remedy. So I ended up Googling at-home natural ways to cure an eye infection. And could you believe, some of y'all probably already know this, but could you believe breast milk was like the first thing that popped up? So I'm thinking, which one am I? I got a friend that's nursing. Sure enough, that night I said, yo, this is awkward. I need some pumps. I need some calcium, girl. Hook it up. Luckily, I was close enough to her to where I could ask her something odd like that. But she gave me like she put it in a small bottle, not even that much worth of breast milk. And I took a Q-tip. I always use a clean Q-tip. You never want to double dip. You never want to infect the area. You don't want to double dip or anything like that, because it's just going to defeat the whole purpose. You're putting that bacteria and that infection in the solution. So she put the breast milk in the bottle. I took a clean Q-tip, dipped it in there, lowered my eye, boom, boom, bam, did the deed. The next day, the swelling that was starting to appear in my eye went away completely. And it worked so quickly. I did it again the next day. And I put the breast milk in my eye, period, I would say 3 to 4 times that day. Following day, I did the same thing. It went right away. Never came back, honey. Get you some breast milk because it works for eye infections. And I've also heard that it also works for some other things. But yeah, I'm just a huge believer. The body is supposed to heal itself in some ways, in a lot of ways actually, and I will always go for a natural method before anything when it comes to stuff like that. So holla at your girl, shout out to the girls that's nursing right now. I see y'all. This next one is a big thing because like I told you earlier, things like having like anything that goes on my face, I'm very, very aware of, and I try to be pretty cautious with a lot of things. For those of you guys that get cold sores, I've been getting cold sores since I was like 10. So since I was like a kid. So I've always been looking for ways to get rid of them as quickly as possible. If you get cold sores yourself, you know how annoying that process is. As soon as you feel that tingling, you're like, where's my Abreva? I got a tip that's actually better than Abreva. If you are a vitamin junkie like myself, do yourself a favor, get you some lysine from your local pharmacy or drugstore, and as soon as you feel the tingling feeling, I'm not even kidding, take some lysine. Take the recommended, I believe it is 2,000. This one is a 500 micrograms. I believe they recommend taking no more than 2,000 micrograms per day. This isn't scientifically proven, but I don't care because it works, okay? As soon as I feel that tingling feeling of a cold sore coming in, pop that, and it won't expand. It will never ever, like, it just won't even develop into a full-blown cold sore. I love lysine. I always keep it in my cabinet. If I'm ever traveling and I feel a cold sore coming on, sometimes I feel them if I'm really stressed out, or if, oddly enough, whenever the seasons change, I know that a cold sore is going to come. And then sometimes my body will just go a year without getting them. But when it is cold sore season and I feel one coming on, lysine is what I reach for, and it is my best friend. I have the Target brand one, and I would just definitely recommend it daily for overall immune health. This tip is going to be for those of you guys that have really, really dry lips, especially right now in the winter. Everything in your body is just drier, but for those of you guys that get like the crackling, the peeling of the lips, I get it really, really bad too. Not as bad as I probably could, but it's pretty bad. And constantly I'm wearing different lipsticks and changing my lip colors, and even my EOS lip balm does not, I mean, it doesn't help with, it helps keep my lips moisturized, but in terms of cracking, you still have to exfoliate, blah, blah, blah. But this next product is going to save your life, and that is some good old-fashioned Neosporin. It works as a first aid antibiotic ointment, so why wouldn't, if it heals scars, if it heals minor cuts and abrasions, why wouldn't it work on your lips? You guys, nothing works better than Neosporin. Please make sure you get the original kind, and make sure you don't eat it, and just try to put it on the most outer, like just try to keep it from getting in the center of your mouth as much as possible. But yo, if crustiness is a problem, not no more. You can say goodbye to crustiness because Neosporin really works. Another tip that I want to give about Neosporin was about 2 weeks ago, and I talked about this on Instagram. I'll put a picture. I got burned by my flat iron, and I kid you not, everybody was like aloe vera and but unfortunately, because I was traveling at the time, I didn't have enough time to go find a natural foods. I just didn't have enough time for that. So I had Neosporin on me, and as soon as the scar, broke out, I just started rubbing Neosporin on it every single day, and the scar went away completely. And ladies, especially my chocolate girls like myself, as soon as you get a pimple, or even sometimes if you're a picker, please don't pick your acne. But if you're able to get this, it has to get in your bloodstream to be the most effective. But if you picked a pimple and you know it's gonna scar, put some Neosporin on it. I promise you, it will not scar. If it does, it will scar significantly less than it would have if you hadn't put anything on it. So keep Neosporin in your bathroom cabinet at all times. Try to use the original kind for lips and scars. And these are, of course, minor scars, but Neosporin is like a lifesaver. So I just had to change positions. So a couple years ago, I did a video talking about Milk of Magnesia and it working as a primer underneath your makeup. A lot of you guys know about the tip, and a lot of you guys still use that to this day. However, I think it's still an effective tip. Well, let me just give a quick background. Putting a little bit of Milk of Magnesia on your face as a primer, like on top of your moisturizer, it keeps your face matte all day, honey, shine free. However, if you're like me and if your body operates like mine does, if you get too accustomed to something too often, your body's just gonna be like, no, it doesn't work. Like my body builds up an immunity to stuff like that. So really, it's something that I would recommend as cake for special occasions. Not like your daily bread, but cake for special occasions. So I would only recommend doing that like maybe on times where you just really have to be snatched for like long periods of time, special event, special occasion. But another tip that I wanted to give, another way you can put that Milk of Magnesia to use is by using it on your pits. It keeps your armpits dry for hours. Are you going to the Grammys? Are you going to the Oscars? Do you need to be sweat free? Your wedding, your bar mitzvah? Milk of Magnesia, I swear to you, put it on a Q-tip, rub it underneath, it dries clear, it will keep you dry. And if you sweat a little bit, it's highly unlikely that you won't smell anything because the Milk of Magnesia keeps you, I sweat a lot. So anytime I can find something to help minimize that, I'm looking for it. Somewhat, I don't even remember. I think it was my grandma who told me about Milk of Magnesia, but I tried that and it works. Let me tell you something, it really works. Another tip that I have tried as well is if you rub a lime underneath your arm, it doesn't stop you from sweating, but it will stop the odor of people from smelling the odor. So got some limes lying around? Try it. Okay, I got one more armpit tip for all my sweaters, and that is rubbing a little bit of cornstarch. Cornstarch is like one of the most readily available things I can think of that you probably already have in your kitchen. But if you rub, just put a small, like maybe teaspoon amount in your hands, rub it in there. It will dry clear. Just try not to overly apply it and rub it in with your fingers really well. But that will also help control the sweat under the arms. Can you tell sweat is a problem for me? This is obviously a big one. It's important. I'm in the beauty industry, and it's important that I stay on point, I smell on point, and I'm always just looking for ways to help minimize that. Personally, my at-home technique to keep me out of the dentist that I want to pass on to you guys is using baking soda. And I have talked about this in a video before, but if you're strapped for cash, you don't have a dentist, or you just can't afford to hit up a dentist, seriously, use baking soda. Sprinkle a little bit onto your toothbrush and brush them like normal. I would do it maybe 2 to 3 times a week, but you have to also actively just keep it up. Like once you get your teeth white, it would do you no good if you're drinking dark soda, if you're drinking coffee. So if you're gonna do those things, minimize them or use a straw faux show, because you don't want to reverse all that hard work you just did, and that's just how you're gonna just maximize your health and the benefits of having white teeth also. So that's my take on teeth whitening. If you want more information, I will link that original video on how to do that down below, and more tips on how to keep your teeth white. I want to give you 3 reasons why you need coconut oil. First of all, you can use it in your hair, you can use it in your body, you can use it for oil pulling. If you don't know what oil pulling is, please Google it. But it basically is a method of gargling oil, different types of oil in your mouth for like 20 minutes sometimes. I know it sounds disgusting, you have to research it, but it pulls impurities and toxins out of your body, and it also is said to whiten your teeth. I've never tried oil pulling before, but coconut oil is one of the oils that they recommend. I've made deodorant out of coconut oil. Like, it's the best multi-purpose product that I have in my bathroom cabinet, in my bedroom as well. I buy them like 3 or 4 at a time because they're so awesome. Another product that I want to recommend, and I don't have it on hand, but Vaseline. You can actually rub a little bit of Vaseline on your teeth. For those of you guys that are like talkers and you always got lipstick on your teeth, yeah, Vaseline actually stops that. It acts as a barrier between the lipstick and your teeth, and it will keep it from getting all on your teeth. So when you're in front of your crush and you just cheesing and grinning with Ruby Woo on your choppers, have no fear, Vaseline will be there for you, girl. Speaking of Vaseline, since we're in the winter and it's cold outside, for those of you guys that have runny eye syndrome, which is really annoying when you're doing someone else's makeup, but if you actually take a little bit of Vaseline and put it on the corner of your eyes, it will help to prevent your eyes from running. My next tip is gonna be for my makeup artists, or those of you guys that may travel a lot and you take your makeup with you and you always have to worry about, oh my God, is my makeup gonna break? This tip has saved my life like dozens of times. Long flight trips, just long distance traveling tips, and that is using for your eyeshadow palettes, because obviously eyeshadows are more delicate than other things. Use cotton rounds and put them in your palettes, and it keeps the eyeshadows from rolling around and moving around when you're traveling, therefore minimizing the chances of them being broken. Now, I can't guarantee that your stuff won't be broken at all, but this is typically how I just line the whole palette. I'm only using one for demonstrational purposes, but I line the whole palette with these eyeshadow rounds, or like eyeshadow squares. It could be anything. Just make sure it's something that's cotton and it's going to keep it packed in there. And this method has saved, I'm sure, so many of my palettes. Sometimes I carry 3, 4 of these at a time, especially if I'm on a gig, and it just makes my life so much easier. You can do the same thing with blushes. So the last tip that I have for you guys, you probably already have heard of this, but for those of you guys that get oily skin throughout the day, you can actually, instead of buying blot sheets, you can actually use toilet seat covers to blot your makeup when you need to help remove some shine, reduce shine throughout the day. Just wander on into the bathroom, nobody has to know, peel off a little slice of that toilet seat cover, the cover, you know, the little sanitary ones that you put on top of the toilet. Yeah, make sure you don't use one that's already been a bum has slid on to it and rubbed all on it. Make sure you use a fresh one, but just take off a little, I don't know, 3x3 and just blot. It absorbs oil like nobody's business, no pun intended, but it really does work. And those are things that I like to do when I'm just in a pinch, and maybe something that is more readily, if that's the only readily available thing that I have in my bathroom cabinet, these are the things that I would recommend to you guys and how you can use them. So I hope that you found this beauty hack video helpful. If you guys have any beauty hacks of your own, especially that are like brown girl friendly, like things that just make life so much easier, I want to know what they are. Please sound off in the comments below. If you like this video, of course, share it with your friends who might need it. You never know if this video might be helpful, and give this video a thumbs up. If you are not subscribed already, you're not going to be able to get awesome makeup tips, so make sure you hit the subscribe button and come on back for more videos. All right, guys, I will see you at the next video. Mwah. Bye.